Gary, a bit of a strange night?
A frustrating night, you know, especially after our first half performance. We played well, we limited Dundee United to very few chances. We got in front, and then the problem was we conceded too early. You know, a good goal for Dundee United's point of view, cross in, he flips it up and he hits it off the bar. But from our point of view, you know, it's our throw, and 8 seconds later the ball's in the back of the net. So that isn't good enough. You know, we need to look at that. You know, we have to improve in that situation if it happens again. And then, you know, the first half sort of went sort of even Stevens after that, and then, you know, we get in at half time, we're speaking to the players and everybody's confident that we can go on, and if we reproduce the first half performance in the second half, we've got to have a really good chance of winning the game. But for the first 50 minutes in the second half, you know, defensively we weren't great. We lost 2 goals, poor goals from our point of view, albeit the second goal for Dundee United is a really good strike, but poor from our point of view. And at 3-1 it's always got to be very difficult, but credit to the players, you know, they kept going. We had a couple of disallowed goals, but at least they kept going, you know, they never had, and at the end, you know, you're pushing like Darren forward, and Jack's made a couple of saves just to keep the score respectable, but that's only because we're pushing that many men forward to try and get back into the game. But no, it's a disappointing result, and it's a frustrating night, because I thought the first half we played quite well.
You did go off to a great start as well, and it was a terrific finish from Dom.
Yeah, and hopefully that's Dom on a wee bit of a run now. You know, that's 2 in 2 games, and he's starting to come back to the sort of the Dom that we remember for last year over the last couple of games, so hopefully that will continue. But you know, as we get him there, and then we sort of probably lost our goal scorer in Stephen. I'm not really sure how long that's got to be, and that knocked us a wee bit as well. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the players, you know, because regardless of anything else, you know we need to defend better in the situations that led to the Dundee United goals. You know, we're the first to admit that, we're the honest group, but it did knock us a bit losing Stephen, and you know, and we got back to being a really young team again at the start of the second half, and until sort of like Dell came on, but really Dell was only replacing John, so they've got a wee bit of an excuse in terms of their age and that, but we quickly need to realise that in certain situations we need to do better defensively.
You said there about losing Stephen, and that
I've no idea if he's got to be available for Saturday, if he's out for the next 10 days. I've no idea. He was icing it, he was a bit tender walking, that's all I know just now. I don't know if it was a kick, I don't know if it was a twist, I don't know if he felt something in his knee. I don't really have any information to tell you. I just know that he came off in a bit of pain. He was limping about, hence the reason we wanted to try and see if he could stay on, but he couldn't, and so we had to take him off. A difficult game for Ross to go on, and you know, against 2 experienced centre-halves, but Ross done fine. And as I say, the pleasing thing was we kept going, but we lost that game probably in the space of 15 minutes at the start of the second half, and I generally feel it was that we beat ourselves tonight rather than Dundee United beating us.
It was quite a tough shift for Ross, because he picked up quite a
he has,
head knock.
He as well. I thought he was going to have to come off. He got a head knock, he had a chipped tooth. He's chipped his tooth, and then he took a couple of bangs, but that'll toughen him up, you know, that'll give him the good experience. That's what he's got to be up against as he progresses in his career. He's got to be against hard experienced centre-halves that are got to have, and he's got to have a lot more challenges and black eyes and cuts like that. But he done fine. You know, we deliberately left him at the team for 2 or 3 weeks because we felt that he had played 3 or 4 games, and that was enough, and that he just had to sort of find his way again, and he came on today and done fine. Derek as well, you know, a couple of stray passes, but he's 2 chances that he's put in the back of the net, albeit he was offside. We'll have to see them again, but listen, that's irrelevant if he's offside or no. He was in the position to finish them. And as I say, I thought we done okay for the majority of the game, but there was a spell for about 15 minutes in the second half that's cost us.
With Stephen being injured, if he is out sort of for the next few games, the other players have to step up. We relied on him too much.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think it's not that we're relying on him too. We have because of the goals, but you know, any team that's got Stephen, you would say they're relying on him because he would score 20-30 goals wherever he's playing. But you're right, if he's not got to be there, we need to have our other strikers, our defenders, our midfielders, everybody starts needing to chip in, because we need to win games. You know, we're still outside the playoffs. I'm not sure of the other results. I don't know if we've lost ground or what. Well, obviously we've not made any ground, which is disappointing.
Livingston drew with Morton.
Yeah, so we're 4 points behind Morton now.
Dunfermline
won, so we're back down to 6. So it's not been a good night for us in terms of everything going for us on Saturday. It's went against us tonight, but there's only us that can get the results, you know. But you know, we're not going to have any harder game than we've got coming up on Saturday. So win or lose tonight, you know, we need to get the players, we know what we're doing in training, we know the ones that have played the 2 games need to do a wee bit less, stuff like that. We need to work hard, and it's got to be another difficult game on Saturday, and doubly difficult if we're going to be without Stephen.
But it's still mathematically possible, you're not going to rule it out, but is tonight a big dent in that push?
Yeah, it makes it difficult, albeit, you know, you can say if you win your game in hand, you go 1 point behind Morton, who are probably occupying, so there's still a lot to play for, but we need to win games, you know. But I don't think anybody could say tonight that we didn't try and win the game. We played well in the first half. We didn't defend well for 50 minutes in the second half. We didn't try. It wasn't like we were defensive or we didn't get men forward. Or, you know, there wasn't a lot of really clear goal scoring chances for either team really. But we certainly didn't set up because we're conscious that we need to win games to get into the playoffs. So, you know, we need to just reassess, see who's fit. It's been a big ask for the lads that have played the 2 games in the 4 days, you know, especially on the pitch on Saturday at Dumbarton. So we'll reassess everything tomorrow and Thursday, and then hopefully we'll have a team on the pitch on Saturday that can get us a result.
You should say they don't come much tougher than St.
No, it's got to be a difficult game, and I don't think we've done ourselves justice against St Mirren in the games this season. Especially the last game here, you know, 2-0 up and we lost 3-2. That was a difficult one, and you know, just thinking of that, and tonight we need to learn that when we go in front, we need to stay in front. You know, we can't let teams. I think we went in front against Morton as well, and they got back and equalised. So that's a wee theme there that we need to try and stop. You know, if we get in front, it's difficult to score goals in this league. So we need to make sure we're harder to score against if we do get in front. But so a lot for us to work on with the players. But you know, I can't fault them for their effort tonight. You know, they kept going right to the final whistle, which they always do in fairness. You know, that's a really good trait they've got as a group of players. You know, 3-1 down, a lot of teams would fold. They kept going, and they kept going, kept trying to get in it. And listen, we know some of our passing that could have been better, and our end ball could have been better, but the biggest thing is they had the heart to keep going. So we need to regroup. You know, there wasn't a rant and a rave tonight. It was just saying that, you know, we need to defend better in the situations that led to the goals. We'll look at the video, we'll talk it through, and then we need to try and get ready again for Saturday.
Should you say you haven't done yourself justice in the games against St Mirren this season? This is the last one against them for this campaign. We want to try and show them that what
we do. No, and you know, I think we have in parts of the games, but we need to put that together now and do it for a full game. And we're going to need to be at our best for the 90 minutes to get a result, because, as you say, they're probably the best team in the country and they're the form team, and they've beat us 3 times already this season. So we know how hard the task's got to be, but it's a task that we should look forward to. And you never know, you know, if you get 3 points on Saturday, the whole thing can change again, and that's what we've got to try and do.